All right, now we're going to talk a little bit swimming and diving, and a little swimming, I know, and it's Gamecock Club Renewal Day. I know that personally for your program, it's something that means a lot. Do you just talk about what the Gamecock Club means to your program?
You know, basically, a lot of our scholarships for our student athletes are paid for by the Gamecock Club and donations. But personally for our team, one thing that we have to stand on right now is we just opened up a renovation from our new locker rooms and our new team room. And it meant a lot to our student athletes. They have something that those locker rooms were getting old, and they were pretty run down, beat up a little bit. And so, you know, Coach Tanner came in, walked through with me, and he said, you know what, we got to upgrade this. We got to give you guys a better place to call home. So it took us about 6-7 months. They did an extensive renovation on it. The majority of that money has come from Gamecock Club donations. So it's something that we hold dear to our hearts and our kids, just to see not only the pride they have in our facility, but when we have, you know, we had practice last Monday morning. We go early in the morning, and we have guys coming in an hour early before practice at 5:30, 6 o'clock, so they can drink their coffee before we start. You know, they built us a pretty special place over there. So, you know, from that aspect, the donations that the Gamecock Club puts forward to the athletic department and the support that they give us as a department as a whole is huge in terms of our success, in terms of what we can show recruits, and in terms of just the overall personality of our program. So it's really important to us, and it's good to see on Gamecock Renewal Day everybody coming in and kind of putting their best foot forward in their support of our programs. You
know, one of the things we've been talking to people about is the growth of the Gamecock. I know you've been there for a few years and just seen it kind of expound. It's kind of rare form now as they enter the 75th year. Just talk about, you know, how you've seen it grow since you've been here.
Man, just watching, especially when you look at our major sports here, when you look at the success of baseball, football, basketball, women's basketball, and you see people really just, it's almost like a snowball effect. And, with winning brings more and more people forward, and you know that brings more and more winning. And so, you know, it's been fun to watch the growth, and you know, we expect even more record numbers this year. And you know, it's huge from a recruiting standpoint. When we have recruits on campus and we can tell them about the support that Gamecock Nation has through our Gamecock Club, it means a world of difference. But it's an entirely different level than it was when I got here 8 years ago.
And you know, speaking about growth, you know, your regular season's already over, but it ended on a strong note. You've had a really good, and yours is really different. That you got some stuff in the fall, and you got some stuff in early winter, and then kind of go into the spring a little bit. Just you know, how has it been so far for you?
We've had a really good season. Our women finished the dual meet season 9-3. The guys finished 7-4, both very successful seasons. You know, we swim in the Southeastern Conference, and just like most sports, it's one of the toughest conferences in the nation, with the top level athletes in the world, not just the country, but in the world. And so, you know, we have to put kind of our schedule together with that in mind. But we had an outstanding season, and now we're getting ready. We've got 2 weeks from this Sunday, we leave to go to our SEC championships down in Auburn. We're looking for big things there. I think we're going to be faster than we ever have been before. We've got men and women that are ready to go down and compete for championships, and then same token to move on to NCAAs at the end of March, beginning of April, and hopefully, you know, finish the season out strong. We're looking for a top 20 finish on the men's side, and we want to get those girls qualified so we can get top 25 on the women's side.
And you talked about those locker rooms, and you talked about the success this year. You know, the future trajectory is pretty high for what y'all are doing. You know, how do you see it in the next 5-10 years for what you're trying to build? You
know, when we talk about these facilities and how they keep upgrading them and keep getting better, with that comes expectation. You know, when we keep putting these financial commitments into these facilities, the expectation for our coaches and for our athletes is the return is the win. And so, you know, there is that kind of expectation now, where years ago it was hard because we were constantly battling an uphill battle on the recruiting trail because we were behind with facilities and things like that. Eric Hyman, Coach Tanner both got us, you know, up to par, if not above, most of the other SEC schools in the country, or in the conference, and then a lot of schools in the country. So the expectation now is not just to be competitive, but to go win. And so that is on our shoulders, and that's what we put on our athletes, and we welcome that challenge. And you can see a lot of the sports now, you know, I'll talk about women's basketball. They ain't back down from anybody, nor does anyone expect them to. So it's going to be fun to watch all these teams continue to develop and the expectation to continue to rise.
We're looking forward to the rest of the year. Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you very much.